Alright, welcome back. Retro here, right on GNN Gaming. I think I have this working now, but you're only going to be able to see one of the screens, which is okay. There's not a lot of stuff that you're going to miss on the other screen, mostly just menuing. But this is going a little smoother now. Can you guys hear the audio of the game? Okay, cool. Hey, medic! Not Digimon. Sorry, buddy. What's weird is when I was setting up my stream, like it tells you to put a game in, it doesn't let me put in Pokemon Diamond. I did see, yes, Jay wants to name my starter. Hey, GVs, welcome back. Yeah, so it wouldn't let me put Pokemon Diamond in, because apparently Twitch doesn't think Pokemon Diamond is actually, like a game to play, I guess. It's not listed in their game. So my stream tells me that I'm playing Brilliant Diamond, which is what's coming out later this year. So, let's see. We're going to go ahead and save. You get Digimon and Monster Rancher mix. You're horrible. You're a horrible person, medic. Yeah, I mean, it tells you... it's still Diamond. It's, you know... I should have really messed with people and put Minecraft. Except I don't play Minecraft. Never played Minecraft a day in my life. I have nothing against Minecraft. I've just never had an interest in playing Minecraft. Oh, I need to change the text speed here. What's the starter going to be named? Well, since little Jay wanted to name some of my Pokemon, I will let Jay name the starter that I choose. And I'm going to go with the water type on this one. Because I've done fire type in like every other game, so let's mix it up, shall we? I don't have the running shoes yet. I'm going so slow. Thud. Mumble. We're going to name him Mumble? Alright. Alright, we can do Mumble. I like Mumble works. Oh, Mumble. He's not right, honey. He's not right, Gloria. I tell you. With them happy little feet. I love happy feet. I love how, I mean, Hugh Jackman nailed it as Memphis. And that's one of those where, like, it's Hugh Jackman, and you read that it's Hugh Jackman, but you listen to it and you go, that's Hugh Jackman? All of, like, the medleys they did in that movie were so brilliantly put together. And then, of course, you have Robin Williams as the leader of the Little Penguins, as well as the Guru. Rest in peace. Indeed. It kills me because, like, all of my favorite comedians are dying off or dead. Oh, he was a huge... I mean, his daughter's name is Zelda, after Princess Zelda, because as a story I read, as he told it, the very first Legend of Zelda game came out like the year she was born, I think, and they were playing it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I just chose the wrong one. So, hang on. Yeah, I mean, he played D&D, played Warhammer. He was, because I said I was going to pick the water type, and there's a reason I'm picking the water type in this one. It's because you don't give me a lot of great options otherwise. And of the three that you get in this one, I mean, Infernape ends up not being that bad, but it takes forever to get Infernape being, like, really good, in my opinion. So we're just gonna... yeah, no, Robin Williams was a huge nerd, and I loved it. And he was a big advocate for Star Trek. He was... you know, I've heard things where he talked about, like, kind of some of his inspiration behind his character of Mork from Mork and Mindy was, you know, based on kind of some of the space characteristic ideas of that came out of Star Trek. He was an awesome guy. But the thing is that, you know, guys, we are missing. I'll tell you what this world needs right now. What the world needs right now isn't another politician. What the world needs right now isn't more news. What we need right now are comedians who are not afraid to stand up and make fun of everyone. Because they're all dead. There's very few that are left that are actually funny. Number one, that's a core requirement. You gotta actually be funny. Bill Burr is probably one of the few that's left, but he's not even to, like, the level that Robin Williams and Richard Pryor were. George Carlin. You know, these guys that, you know, yes, they were vulgar, but they made fun of things that were... nobody else would touch. I mean, Robin Williams was a big political liberal, politically, but he made fun of the Bill Clinton scandal. He made fun of his own party. He made fun of all of that. Richard Pryor made fun of black people. Richard Pryor made fun of the racial issues, and we laughed about it. Richard Pryor was a consultant on Blazing Saddles. He helped Cleavon Little be the character of the Sheriff Bart. You know, George Carlin, he didn't care what anybody thought. You weren't gonna... there was no... number one, I would love to see anybody try to cancel culture guys like George Carlin and Richard Pryor and Robin Williams, who just were not afraid to run with anything. So, you know, it's a shame that we're losing comedians like that. And then I grew up also with guys like... where the white women at? Boys, look at what I got here. Where the white women at? Better do what he says, men. I don't think he's bluffing. I could quote most, if not all, of Blazing Saddles. But that's the thing, too, is the reason these movies had racial jokes was because we were making fun of racism. We were dragging it out into the light and making it as ridiculous as we could. And everybody laughed. Everybody laughed. And then suddenly we're all offended at everything now. And for those of you who don't know, the whole Where Do White Women At is from Blazing Saddles. Go watch it. You'll appreciate it. But one of the things that cracks me up, too, is so many of the movies that Mel Brooks is famous for, like Blazing Saddles, Robin Hood Men in Tights, you wouldn't be able to make today. My name is Jim. Some folks call me Jim. There we go. Piplup. Right off into the sunset in a car. That was like... It's Headley. Now, I will say, I will name it Mumble. I don't get a chance to name it until a few minutes later, but I will name it Mumble. So what you guys do miss out on with the emulator that I'm using, if I were to try to fit both screens on, this will get really small and you won't be really able to see anything. So you're missing out on my menu, where I determine the fight. But... I get no kicks from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a belt out of you? Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in this game. The only thing you miss out on that screen is my menuing. So it's not the end of the world. I love my Nintendo 3DS. I absolutely love that. I think it's I think it's the peak. Before the Switch, I absolutely would have called it the peak of handheld gaming. It was the pinnacle of handheld gaming. He rode a blazing saddle, he wore a shining star. His job to offer battle to bad men near and far. He conquered fear and he conquered hate. He turned dark night into day. He rode a blazing saddle, a torch to light the way. And of course, I know we're naming this after Mumble from Happy Feet, but all I can think about is Memphis. I mean, I'm going to name it Mumble, of course. Although most days I feel like I sing like Mumble. So. I can dance, though. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, merci beaucoup. No, don't shoot him. You'll only make him angry. I love the look on Cleavon Little's face after that, like, what? See this hand? Steady as a rock. But I shoot with this hand. Finally, the running shoes. Candy grab for Mongo. Candy grab for Mongo. Candy grab. Mongo like candy. Sign here. I mean, you can pick almost any Mel Brooks movie, and I could probably quote or do a song from it. Maybe that's really what my Mongo just pawn in Game of Life. But yes, I do. We're going to. What's the song? I assume it's going to be a Mel Brooks one. Pure Imagination. Well, it's not Mel Brooks, but I can do it. You're talking about from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? This is why I have Wolf. This is why I have a timer on how often I can song mode can be redeemed. All right. Hang on, I gotta take these off because I have the Pokemon game music in my ears at the same time that I'm trying to think about the song. All right. Come with me, and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. There you go, medic. Come with me and you'll be in a world of OSHA violations. That really is the theme of, like, if I remember the book right, I don't even think all of the kids actually survive. I think it was actually fatal. Like, I don't remember. It's been so long. There was a sequel to the book, believe it or not, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, called The Flying Elevator. I think it's called The Flying Elevator. Yeah, it goes into outer space, it stalls. Oh yeah, it's... Hi, Dark Angel. What? Alright, we are naming Piplup. Alright. Oh, that's not what we wanted. There we go. What are you laughing at, Dark Angel? Was that my bedtime song? Do I have to go? Aww! Jay, that's up to mommy. Somebody else wanted me to sing. That's hilarious. That song was Medic's choice. That's adorable. Jay, I heart you. You are awesome. I really wish you guys lived in Florida. My kids would adore Jay. Absolutely adore Jay. But no, you live in the Dakotas, like, somewhere. I think. I don't even remember. Somewhere that has bears. I remember that. Move to Florida. We'll make it a party. Just come to Florida. Everything's crazy here. Florida Man is a thing. North Dakota. Yeah, it's a bit of a distance. It's warmer here. I'll tell you that. Definitely warmer. And Florida Man is a thing. It is always an adventure here. I'd love to live in Florida. The nerd scene. I could see that. You know, North Dakota isn't really what I associate with the nerd scene. Speaking of the nerd scene, I've got my, these are actually blue light filtered glasses. They're, I don't need them to see, but they, definitely take off the harshness. I got these. I'll take a second to promote these. Because, I ordered these. These had like one of the highest ratings on Amazon, under $50. And I was like, all right, if I'm going to try, like blue light glasses, you know, I'd want to, or Texas. Sorry, I thought your comment was Dark Angels. But still, either way, not huge areas I think about when it comes to, you know, the nerd scene. So these are by a company called Benici, B-N-I-C-C-I. But these do really well, because for my actual job, my desk at work has dual monitors, dual flat screens, and I stare at them for 8 hours a day, all day. And then I come home, and then I, you know, stream for you guys for several hours, and then I'm on my computer for several hours, and I started developing horrific migraines, after a while. And I was like, I gotta do something, and somebody told me, you know, you gotta try these blue light, get a pair of blue light glasses. Somebody I work with. Get blue light glasses. And I'd heard people talk about blue light glasses for years. It's like, all right. So I spent $20. I got some blue light glasses, and I got them for work. And I was like, okay, worst case amount, $20. And they were so instantly, put them on instantly. No headaches, no migraine pressure, no none of that. All gone. All day long looking at a computer. These are actually really clear. A lot of people, like I've read some where people are like, well, I got them, but they're foggy and they don't seem to clear up. These are actually really, really clear. There's a very faint, and I mean faint, yellowish tint to them when you look through, but it doesn't change anything for you. You don't even notice it. And they were so good at work. I got another pair just to keep it home. The only complaint that I have, and this isn't really even a complaint, it was an expectation if you read the description. These are just very cheap plastic frames, which, you know, it's kind of what I expected for $20. But they make a world of difference. And I know you can get, if you're somebody who needs actual prescription glasses or readers, you can get prescription glasses and readers with a blue light tint to them. Yeah, it's absolutely, and I mean, give you an idea, when I look at my screen, right, you can see the reflection you see in my screen, is it bounce off my glasses right now? Is it bouncing the blue light back? So that tells you, like, the clarity. You can almost see the game itself in my glasses. That's the clarity these both have, but also, like, you don't realize just what they block out. The other thing that I liked about these, and it was like, okay, well, how do you know you're actually getting blue light glasses and not just UV rated ones? These actually came with a little blue light pen light, and you put them on, it gives you a card that responds to blue light. Like if you were to hit the card with the blue light pen light, the card turns purple, and then it will fade back to white. So you take your glasses and you lay them on the card, like half on the card, and you shine it at the lens. Wherever the card isn't being covered by the glasses will turn purple, and everything the glasses are covering will stay white. Like that's how you're supposed to know, is it's called the card test. But I can tell you right now, it is a difference. So that's why the glasses, but I really recommend them. If you're somebody who gets really tired eyes or migraines looking at screens, get a pair. Well, the other thing I like about getting these glasses in particular is that it's a small family-owned company that does these, US-based company that does these. It's not some, you know, mass-produced overseas kind of a thing. It's actually, you get a little thank you card from them that says thank you for supporting this small family business kind of thing, which is, I love that. I'm one of those people, even if it costs me more, I will buy local, if I can, from a family-owned business than Amazon. Unfortunately, where I live in Florida, there's not a lot of the things that I regularly use, I don't have here to do that with. I wish wholeheartedly I had a good computer supply parts, like computer parts store here, and I don't. I have a Best Buy, and that doesn't really count. And their prices are ridiculous. So, unfortunately, the computer parts are something I still have to order online, because I do get a better deal. Hang on, what did I miss? I wasn't really paying attention. Oh, why don't you go tell your family that the pressure... Oh, I gotta go all the way back. Okay. Thank goodness we have the running shoes so early. But, yeah, that's, yeah, I'm big on supporting small business and family-owned businesses. Streaming is thirsty work. Make sure you stay hydrated. I am certainly trying. Although I've had a frog in my... You can kind of hear it a little bit, especially if I sing. Got a bit of a frog in my voice. Had it all day, and I think we've had storms off and on for 3 days here, and that always messes with, like, my sinuses and my, like, congestion. I'm hoping that will level out here soon. Ribbit. 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 Bud. Budweiser. Anybody remember the Budweiser frogs? It's like one of those 90s commercial gimmicks they had. Yeah, early 90s. I remember, I was a kid, but I remember it. Born in the late 80s, but very much grew up in the 90s, Yeah, I know Wolf Angel's a 90s kid. That would also probably mean Dark Angel is too. We've got a pretty good mix in the crowd. GV's, I'm not. GV's was a, what, 70s kid? 1 day apart from Wolf. Okay, yep. So that officially makes me and GV's the oldest people in my chat. Alright, we're gonna try to catch this Bidoof. Born in the 60s. Tell us about Babe. One of these days I'm going to come on my stream and I'll have shaved off my beard and I'm just going to mess with all of you. I've actually considered going back to the goatee look. If you remember the 60s, you weren't there. Yep. Yep. Some great films came out in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, though. The other day I was watching 1957 with 12 Angry Men with I just lost it. Just lost his name. Yeah, there were a lot of B movies. 12 Angry Men with, oh, I just lost it. G-Beast, I know you know. I just lost the actor's name. Henry Fonda. Thank you. Henry Fonda. Yep. 12 Angry Men, Henry Fonda. If you've never seen it, watch it. You just saw Barbarella. Well, one of my favorite musicals came out. Let's see, that would have been the 50s. Yeah, West Side Story. It's one of my all-time favorite musicals. But you also, during that same time, you had great, you had great stuff back then, like, well, basically, if, oh, come on, Danny Kaye, Fred Astaire, you had a lot of just great entertainment back then. When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. When you're a jet, when the spit hits the fan, you got brothers behind you, you're a family man. You're never alone, you're always well protected. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria. Except he didn't sing that song at all. Boy, crazy boy, stay loose, boy. This is a tutorial thing, I can't really do anything here. So. And as a reminder, anybody who may be in my chat popping in, is it a drunk guy this time? No, it is not. This is clearly not Brilliant Diamond. Brilliant Diamond is not out for a few more months, but Twitch does not recommend Pokemon Diamond, so this was the only option. I had to put something in to go live, so this was what you got. I couldn't just put in Pokemon either, like it made me name the game. So there you go. Also, schedule change for me. Oh, I always wanted to do West Side Story. I wanted to do West Side Story. I wanted to do Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, there were a lot of musicals I wanted to do in high school, and we either didn't do them, or I was actually, believe it or not, too nervous to go out for them. I used to be very, very stage shy. Absolutely terrified at the concept of being on stage. Used to scare me out of my mind. New stream time, everybody. Tuesdays. Normally you're used to seeing me come on at 9 p.m. That is no more. I am moving it back, so every night that I stream now starts at the same time, same retro channel. I will be doing 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, 6 to 9 Central, 4 to 7 Pacific. Anyway, I will be doing 7 to 10 Eastern time, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday now. So same time all week. I'm adjusting it so that, number one, a little more consistency with my stream. Number two, we had a couple streamers leave our channel, which, that's all right. They went on to do their own channel and do their own thing, and I wish them all the luck in the world. But that means some stream slots opened up, so I'm going to move my stream back a bit to something that's a little more convenient for my time. And, yeah, I can, so I am. Then I'm not getting done with my stream at midnight my time and then trying to wind down and go to bed, which is difficult. When I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. GV's 4 years in theater. My theater training, I didn't have formal training per se in high school. There were things that my friends taught me. There were things who were actors. I watched a lot of performances. My theater I did have some English teachers. I was very fortunate that I had several English lit teachers that believed plays should be experienced, not just read. And so they encouraged us to get into the role. We would go see live performances of especially Shakespeare. So there was a lot of study involved, and I really learned how to look at characters and analyze a character and their motivation and everything through critical reading, as well as learning to perform and project. So that was where a lot of my theater, and then to go on after that for over a decade of live performance as a magician. So a lot of that was, developed there too. I did take vocal lessons at one point. I took dance lessons, professional dance lessons for a time. And I did all of that because I wanted to improve myself as a performer. I took dance lessons because I wanted to learn how to move to music better on stage. I took voice lessons because I wanted to learn how to project and be more confident, and also some techniques for being clearer and louder, and opening up the diaphragm, and learning to drop your jaw when you sing, things like that. But it's been a long time since I've really studied, actually studied most of it. So I've had to kind of, in recent history, like the last year, kind of reacquaint myself with it. You were in theater throughout middle school and you're in high school, but you're also just a dramatic person. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a very dramatic person. I've always been outgoing and I've always been extroverted, but I had stage fright. So it was like on a one-on-one level or in a small group, I was fine. It used to be, if you put me in front of 100 people, I would lose my mind. And it's weird to think that just, 7 years ago, we made an airplane appear in front of a live audience of about 400 people. And that was absolutely mind-blowing. Number one, that we were able to pull it off. To do it, no camera tricks, real airplane, four-person single-engine airplane. And here's the kicker. It was inside of the hangar. We were in the hangar. You could see my whole area. You could see the back wall of the hangar. It was all there. There's video of it on YouTube. Live audience. And we made this 900-pound single-engine Cessna-style aircraft appear in front of the audience. And it was honestly the gutsiest illusion I've ever tried to pull off. Second only to the jail escapes that I've done as publicity stunts. But I quit doing a lot of the big stuff years ago. It was kind of like, where do you go next? You either go really, really, really big, or you kind of tone it down and just accept, hey, I really enjoy doing this. I will never do the airplane illusion again. No. I was amazed we were able to pull it off the first time. I'll be absolutely honest with you. And even other magicians were amazed we pulled it off. Everybody told me it couldn't be done. I called magicians from here to England. I have some friends that are in London. I called them. I called magicians in Canada, all over the United States. I had a friend of mine who lives in... Where does he live? Well, now he lives in Portugal. but he was in Venezuela at the time. I talked to him. I had magicians literally all over the world, and every single one of them said, it's not possible, it's impossible conditions, live audience, in a hangar, no camera tricks. Literally everybody told me it was going to be impossible to pull off. And we did it. And after that, it was kind of like, well, that was fun. Now let's go on to something else. What's the next big thing we can do? One illusion I will never do, and I promise it was an easy promise to my family that I would never do it. I will never do Buried Alive. It's stupid. Almost everybody who has attempted it has died, or very nearly died. There are more things that can go wrong than there are successes, and there's no way to guarantee success, which, spoiler, if you can't look at your illusion, if you can't look at your escape and guarantee to some degree a 99% probability of success or higher, you shouldn't do it. That's why we call them illusions, is they have the illusion of danger, and some of them have very real danger, don't get me wrong. Oftentimes the biggest thing at stake is our reputation. But yeah, I'll tell you right now, Buried Alive is foolish. I do not condone anybody who attempts it. And too many people have died very publicly attempting to do it. Now, I have hung by my feet, upside down, 20 feet above pavement in a straitjacket. I've done that. That was fun. Did that a couple times. It's a good time. I have done various escapes from handcuffs, chains, mailbags, you know. I used to have a rule that you could literally tie me up with anything you want and I would get out. I would do 100-foot rope escapes with true 100 feet of rope, and I would let the audience member, at random, any audience member tie me up any way they wanted, and I had to get out. And there were a few times that got hard. I remember the hardest one. I'll tell you a funny story. Yeah, I do want to do a water escape. That's on my bucket list of things to get done in my career. I'll tell you a funny story. So this goes back. This goes back to about 2011. I was at a party. A friend of mine, he was turning 40. He was having a bunch of adults over his garage. He was throwing a party there, birthday party for him. A bunch of people drinking and hanging out and stuff. And he asked me, he's like, hey, would you guys, come and perform at my birthday? I was like, sure. All right, a bunch of adults hanging out in the garage. Why not? It's going to be a good time. Be fun. So I go. Right? And, we meet, and at the time, I was a part of a performing duo. I was with another magician at the time. He and I had this kind of Abbott and Costello magic shtick. We were okay. Individually, we were great magicians, but together it was more of a comedy act than it was anything else. But we had been doing magic back and forth off and on for a couple hours at this point. Just kind of whatever we thought about. People were drinking, so it's like it didn't matter if we sucked because everybody's drunk and they're not going to remember it, right? So into the night comes, and I go to do a 100-foot rope escape. Figure that's the perfect thing. But I was like, you know what, I need a chair. What's a chair? So my friend goes to we're in his garage, and he had just like random like antique stuff, and he had it just stacked up in his garage. He grabs his antique wooden chair, the one where like you've got the really ornate arms, but they're connected. And I was like, yeah, sure, tie me up to that, not thinking anything. It took them over an hour to tie me up the way they wanted, and it was funny because they used almost all 100 feet just on my legs. And then they started getting help. Like, multiple people started getting in on this. Somebody went and they pulled and they opened this duffel bag that had all of this climbing rope in it, and they pulled that out, and they started adding on to it. It took over an hour to tie me up, and it took me, I think it was like 37 minutes to get out, and I had to dislocate my shoulder, my wrist, and I almost had to break the chair to do it, which they told me. They were like, yeah, break the chair, we don't care, whatever. I was trying to avoid breaking the chair, but if it came down to it, I was going to break the chair if that's what it took. But I had rope lines, like, wearing clothes, I had rope lines underneath my clothing from how tight they had gone. And my one rule with that is don't go around my throat. You can go around the back of my neck and pull my head down, because that doesn't cut off my airway, but I don't allow anybody to go around the neck. That's the one place, because I don't want to be battling air supply as well. Great band, by the way. But, so, yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, I actually let the audience members. So I love doing escapes. I think they're a lot of fun. And the only one really I've got left to do that I want to do is I want to do some kind of underwater escape. And a lot of training is going to go into that to get that to go right. And, you know, there's a lot of fail-safes you have to put into place. But those underwater escapes probably have the highest degree of risk. And people have said, like, oh, well, you were hanging by your ankles, 20 feet up. Well, I was attached to the cable that was holding me in the air was 8-gauge aircraft cable, which had a tensile strength of, like, 20,000 pounds. So, that wasn't going to snap. It wasn't rope. I had the straps, the harness that was around my ankles was what's called Carriage Straps. And what it is you put your foot through the opening, and then when your weight pulls against it, it actually tightens it down. So as I'm hanging, my own body weight is tightening the straps around my ankles. So my feet cannot slip out. It's impossible. Furthermore, the straps were made from a friend of mine who... She works very high up in a company that makes these straps for roller coasters. The safety straps. It's actually the name of the company, Safety Strap. I purchased a roll of fabric, basically, from them. And that material has a weight limit of like 900 pounds before it starts to even begin to, like, be affected. The carabiners were solid steel carabiners that were attached, and each one had a weight limit of 150 pounds. So, and I had 2 of them there, so the weight was split between them. So, like, when you learn, like, the ins and, like, the behind the scenes of everything, me falling was never in the question. It looks like I'm going to. I am swinging in the wind, yes. But no. I'm actually extremely safe during all of that. There are so many things that would have to go wrong all at once in order for that to actually be a threat to me. Spoiler. But it looks cool, and it is challenging. I mean, the blood's rushing to my head, I'm upside down, I'm completely disoriented because I'm inverted 20 feet up, I can't really focus, and I'm spinning. I can't really focus my eyes on anything, so I have to kind of just close my eyes and do everything by feel. There is a lightheadedness that comes with it, so it's got its own challenges to do, but done correctly, there's actually very little real danger. Underwater escapes, there are certain things you can do to mitigate the risk. But, it still comes down to your ability to hold your breath, your ability to function and move your body on while your lungs are filled with CO2. But there's things you can do, and with waterscapes, it's really more of a, you have to have a way to signal somebody on the outside that you're in danger. And when underwater escapes go wrong, that's usually why. Is because they didn't have something in place as a signal. And that's just something you got to kind of work out for yourself. But yeah, this is where I gotta go. This is the Pokemon Company. I'm trying to find the battle school. So I've rambled on long enough. How are all of you doing? This is something I could literally talk about for hours. Day 3 of good days. No idea what to do tonight. Well, you're on my stream. That's a start. No, I get it. There you go. Playing Animal Crossing while watching and listening to my stream. Listen to me just ramble about being a magician. But there's some wonderful materials, and this is one of the things I will say. Everybody talks about, oh, magicians don't reveal the secrets, but we reveal them to other magicians. To people who are legitimately looking and legitimately in search of secrets of how to do things. You know, the material is there. And there are some wonderful, wonderful places I could direct somebody to get props, to get books, to DVDs. Magicians generally are actually a very giving community. We just want to know that you're serious about it. It's not quite the clandestine, super secret organization that I think some people still want it to be. A lot of us feel that magic should be shared because that's how you get new people in, you know. Not having your game Sundays, so prepping can take a backseat. I get that. Yep. I've got stuff on my 3D printers running right now, getting stuff ready. By the time you're a grandpa, you like to do simple magic. Yeah, I mean, that's... You know, there's never a bad time to start, per se. Hang on one sec. Let me grab something. What do you mean it's sleight of hand isn't going to be an issue? You know, taking something and making it disappear or reappear, and that's all just practice is all that is. So it can be done. I found one of the best ways to practice sleight of hand is learn the basics to where you're kind of comfortable doing it, and it kind of starts to become muscle memory, and then watch movies and practice your sleight of hand while watching movies. Because you learn to do it without thinking, which is really what you have to do when you're actually doing the sleight of hand. It needs to be natural. It's kind of like talking and playing, or you know, certain songs that I can sing and play the game because I know the song so well, I don't have to think about it. Same thing with sleight of hand. You know, so it's, you know, you learn to multitask.
Grew up with sticky fingers, good enough to get keys. You know, I actually don't do pickpocketing. I have some friends that are fantastic at it. I know a guy who will literally take your belt off of you while you're wearing, you know, just you'll never even realize it. I never really got good at pickpocketing. Making things vanish, making things, because and here's the other thing you learn too is that like the more you do it, you learn that like magicians, you find a niche. Every magician's got a niche of things, a style that they love, you know. And it was really popular. Chris Angel, and I'm just gonna say that. I won't say anything else. Chris Angel, he made levitations popular because on his TV show he was always doing them in impossible situations. I was never really interested in levitations. I love the concept of flying, but I'm more interested in the concept of teleportation, transmutation, transportation. Making things vanish, making things appear, I think, is harder because to completely remove an object from somebody's field of vision is tricky. And yes, you know, the whole saying, you know, the hands are quicker than the eyes and all of that, but at the end of the day, especially if you're doing it on video, cameras will catch everything. So you've got to get really good at even tricking a camera, which is trained on what you're doing and will catch every little mistake you make. People, you can misdirect. You can cause them to shift their vision just enough to not be looking at what you want them to. But in reality, I think the greater challenge for me was always making something disappear, reappear, switch places, teleport. That was just a huge fascination for me, being able to do that. And that's where the making the airplane appear came from. Partly. But the method I used, what's funny is the method we used for, I'll tell you this, the method we used for the airplane came out of a book from 1908, 1909, was where I ultimately got the idea. And it was a rather obscure book, and I'm not going to give the name of the book because I still like keeping it a secret, but just know that it was I'll say it involved Houdini. It wasn't like a biography of Houdini, but it was a book that did kind of talk a little bit about Houdini. But it came, the idea for how we did it came from, and was originally inspired out of, man, this person will not let me through. I've got to always keep doing something here. It was inspired from that. I love old books anyway, but it's so funny because it was like, what I guess cracks me up about the whole thing was all of the magicians who said it couldn't be done. All the magicians who said, nope, no way, not possible, you know, it can't be done. And I find the method in a book written before camera tricks were a thing, when illusions had to be performed on a stage under candlelight or very primitive Edison lighting. Not all theaters had those for a long time. So, yep, that was, I still love going to those old books for those ideas. I should mention, I've never played this game before, so I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Let's see. Not going that way. Pepper's Ghost is one of the most beautiful illusions you can do. But the setup for it really is unique. The setup for Pepper's Ghost requires a very, very specific stage and lighting setup. Can a Pokemon hold an item? Yes. But in order, what Pepper's Ghost did, without going into like the deep details of it, Pepper's Ghost, and you have to think about when this was created. Imagine if you will, imagine if you will, you're in a theater. It's turn of the century, late 19th, early 20th century. You're in this grand, beautiful theater. And magician, dressed in his top coat and tails, comes out on stage. You see him clear as day. He draws a sword from his scabbard and turns. And you see appear on stage. You're already going mad with syphilis because turn of the century. Yeah, that would have been a thing. Penicillin wasn't around then. Magician pulls his sword, takes a fighting stance, and on stage, appearing, is a see-through image of a person holding a sword who proceeds to have a whole sword fight with the magician. Magician swipes his sword, and the image that you could see through is gone. Light projectors like we know them, don't exist. This was a clear see-through image. And often the background would have busy props so that you could actually see the prop through the image of the person on stage, absolutely live. That was Pepper's Ghost. Expensive as all get out to pull off. Very, very specific lighting conditions for it to work. But if you research Pepper's Ghost and how it was done, it is one of the most beautiful, and spooky illusions. I would love to do it. It is, our modern day theaters are not equipped, believe it or not, to do Pepper's Ghost justice the way it should have been done 120 years ago. That's how innovative magic used to be. Because camera tricks didn't exist. Because you had to fool an audience the first time right in front of you. And they paid $5 to come see you in 1908. And you had these giant posters plastered on the outside, traveling from town to town, trying not to starve. You had to fool them in that moment, and that's all you had. And I'll be absolutely honest. I know I'm on a soapbox. But having done this long enough, and enough shows, $5 back then. Run an inflation calculator sometime. It's about even to what you pay now. Maybe more. High class only. Magicians have it easy these days. I think audiences are a bit more skeptical. They're a little harder to fool in some ways. But we have a lot more things that... we have a lot more things that help us today than we did then. Does Pokemon grow by defeating others in intersections? Yes. There are haunted houses that do it, but you have to... the lighting setup for it is so difficult. That's why people don't. And if you're off, the illusion literally just doesn't work. It fails. So it's got its own trick to it. But the idea of being able to see... And it wasn't just a sword fight. What you are actually seeing is an actual projection of a live person in that moment, but they found a way to bend light to make it work. Imagine how creepy that would have been the very first time you saw that. Because here's the thing, at the turn of the 20th century, mysticism was very, very popular. This idea that we could speak to spirits, divination, all of that was very, very big. See, that wasn't a thing in America until 1855. Yeah, it was about 1855 when that started to become a phenomenon in the United States, because it was it was considered to be devil worship. It was considered to be a lot of things, and yeah, 1855 was really one of the first recorded times that somebody claimed to be able to communicate with the dead, and the dead would manipulate objects in the room and do different things, knock on wood, stuff like that. So 50 years go by, it's now this global phenomenon. And yeah, it was really big after the Civil War. It didn't start getting super popularized until magicians started like traveling with it and claiming to be able to talk to the dead. And I think, I'll be absolutely honest, this is a whole other soapbox I could get onto, but I'll be 100% honest. I believe it's all BS. I don't think any of it is real. Magicians have staked their entire careers, livelihood, and income on disproving it, and it has been disproven far more times than it has ever been proven. I'm trying to find this other stupid clown I have to go to, apparently. I don't know where he is. Did I miss him already? Is he up here? Anyway, but this was major draw, this idea that we could talk to the dead, and people who would do it so convincingly. Things like table turning and things like I can't go this way. I love the Amazing Randy. The Amazing Randy spent his entire life disproving psychics and mediums, and his great nemesis was Uri Geller. And Uri Geller is still alive and still proclaiming to be psychic and a mysticist. The Amazing Randy has passed away. He has sadly passed away. But okay, so I have 3 tickets. Where am I supposed to go with this thing? I don't even know who I'm supposed to talk to. Is it this guy? Okay, there we go. Pokemon Watch. I have a Poketch. Yeah, the Amazing Randy famously would go, and here's the thing, he did it in the most glorious way. Here's how the Amazing Randy would disprove psychics. All right, he would agree to a public display on a talk show. Okay, Ed Sullivan's show was popular for this. For a time, he would agree to a public display. He would let them come on, and he would let them do whatever that was they were going to do. There was one guy in particular who claimed that if you took a book, like a phone book, something heavy with lots of pages, he could walk up and just push like this, and a page would turn in the book. And he claimed he could do it with any book under any conditions, and he allowed the Amazing Randy to dispute him. So he comes on, he does his whole performance, he comes out, and he moves the page, and the page turns. And this is a book provided by the studio. This is not his. The Amazing Randy comes out, and there were a lot of explanations. People had said magnetism. People had said that there was, and I think even the spiritual mentalist at the time had said that it was forces moving through himself into the object to allow it to do what it did. So the Amazing Randy put shredded paper on the table all around the book. Not on the book, but around it. And he said that this is a non-magnetic material. If this really is an electromagnetic thing between him and the book, or some force, then it would have no effect on all of this and would only affect the book. And the guy couldn't do it. He would try, and he would try, and he wouldn't be able to do it. And then he would say that the lighting or the room, he always blamed it on something else. In reality, what was happening was he was breathing out through very, very closed lips in such a way that he was actually blowing the page over. And that was what the Amazing Randy set out to prove. By putting all that other paper down, if he was blowing, it would have blown all of that other paper away at the same with enough, because of the force of it, to move the page. So he disproved people, and he was never aggressive. He would just say, okay, if what you're saying is true, then it won't have any effect on this display. And that was how he challenged Uri Geller. That was how he challenged everybody. Now, the Fox sisters are really what popularized it in America. Let me get back to playing my game here. The Fox sisters are what popularized it in America, and that's where we go back to 1855. There were 3 sisters, and they claimed to be able to. Really, they go back to the 30s, but their actual live performances started in the early 50s, 1850s. So 3 sisters, the Fox sisters, all, I think, they weren't triplets, but they were all very, very close in age. They did things like making tables levitate just by touch. They would rest their hands on a table and the table would lift up. They did things where one of them would appear to go into a trance, and you would, without them moving, without them doing anything, the things would happen. And what it was the other sisters doing things, and the audience was not aware. They managed to they were so good at their charade, traveling. They kept it up, and it wasn't until the last sister died on her deathbed that she confessed to all of them being frauds. And that was in the 1880s when she died. She was like 85 years old. She confessed on her deathbed that they had been frauds all along. But they were the best, and they started all of it. They started this movement in America, this idea that we could communicate with the dead, and that they would communicate back by knocking. That was spirit knocking is what it was called, or table tipping was the other thing that it was called, were the 2 main methods. And table tipping was literally where just the fingertips would be placed on the table, and the table would rock and move and spin or levitate. And it was all a magic trick. In essence, it was all magic tricks. But they made a big deal out of it. And there's a book. The name of it escapes me. If anybody's interested, I'll look it up, and I've read it a few times. But it was written by a scientist and his friends who were scientists, and they would go and see these performances, and they would do exactly what the Amazing Randy did back in the 70s and 80s of 1970s and 80s. They did back then, where they would go and then they would give some kind of stipulation. They would have to sit on a pillow, or they would have to raise their feet up so you couldn't hear, and then magically, miraculously, nothing would happen, and they would always blame it on, well, the situation isn't right, or there's too much stress in the room, or you're not a true believer, so the spirits don't want to come out. It's all part of the rhetoric. Okay. I shouldn't be using bubble on a grass type. I get so busy talking, I'm not even paying attention to playing the game. Yes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who famously, we know him as the author of Sherlock Holmes. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a believer in the Fox sisters, and he absolutely believed. The same year he wrote a book proclaiming his belief in fairies. He also wrote a book claiming that the Fox sisters had demonstrated the most convincing form of table tipping he'd ever seen in his life, and he was convinced, absolutely convinced, that spirits would come back from the other side to commune with us and communicate with us. So, yes, Arthur Conan Doyle believed not only in fairies, but also in spirits coming back from the other side. Harry Houdini dedicated the latter part of his life, from about 1918 forward, to his death. No, it was a little early in the early 1900s to his death. He used to have, at the time, I believe it was a $1 million claim, that anybody could produce a psychic phenomenon that he couldn't duplicate. then he would pay them out, and nobody was ever able to. And he told his wife Bess that if it was possible to come back from the other side, and he died first, that he would communicate with her. And so on the anniversary of his death, which is Halloween, Harry Houdini died on Halloween. On the anniversary of his death, she conducted a seance, which is where that tradition came in, in an attempt to contact Harry, and never succeeded. And she did it every year of her life until she died. So there's a lot of history that's right there. But what's interesting to me is many of the same methods that psychics, and I use that word very loosely, use today to convince you that they are talking to the dead, are the exact same techniques that you will find published in books from the mid-1800s that were demonstrations done by known frauds. So just to put all of that together for you. I have an entire show that I do. The entire show is performing these older style, I shouldn't say ancient, these older style techniques of mind reading and speaking to the dead. And at the end of it, I tell you straight-faced, absolutely, every bit of it's a trick. None of it's real. And the entire night, I have read your mind, controlled the audience, predicted what you're going to do, done hypnotism, done mentalism. I manipulate the audience from the moment they sit down to a desired outcome. And it takes a lot of preparation to make that work, but it does. But that's how much work went into it. That's what was required to do it. So yeah, there you go. Lots of history. I am very much into this, if you couldn't tell. And these days I'm getting more and more to where I'm more of I'm trying to take on more of a mentor role in the magic than I am an active performer. I would rather, I love performing, but I also love designing illusions for people. So that is something that I've taken to doing. This Turtwig will not die. And I'm probably not going to survive this encounter because I wasn't paying attention. Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, there's much to say about Edgar Allan Poe. Where are you going with it, GVs? What are you thinking? I was gonna say, I got a few things on that one too. Creepy stuff. Hey, Halloween's coming up. Forget Labor Day. Halloween's the next holiday. It's the only one that counts, right? I might actually pull off beating this Turtwig. Who knows? When this battle is over, I'm going to take a brief 1-minute break, rest my voice, refill my drinks, and then I will be back. I have to survive or die. One of the two is going to happen. When this battle is over, that's what I'm going to do. I love Poe. I love Poe's writings. I think the fact that he died basically penniless and alone is tragic and unfortunate. You know, kind of like Rembrandt. You know, Rembrandt didn't sell a single painting while he was alive. And now Rembrandts are worth millions. Because he's dead. But when he was alive, Rembrandt didn't sell a single painting. Alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to save. And then I will come right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. And I'm back. Alright, so what's the topic now, ladies and gentlemen? What are we talking about? What's up? Nothing to be sorry about there, G-Beast. I appreciate the contributions to the conversation. Random fact from Animal Crossing. Folks say you can't have too much of a good thing, but after 3 gallons of ice cream, it stops feeling true. That's true. But not until you get to 3 gallons. Like, that's the cutoff. That's when it's too much of a good thing. 2 3/4? No, you're good. Still a good thing. I didn't go back and heal. I'm in trouble. Although I'm not sure this Kricketot knows any actual moves. Oh yeah, so for those of you who don't know, but follow our channel, Wolf Angel is going to be doing a cooking show on the GNN YouTube page. So I guess that depends what book you're going to be using first to get your recipes from. I know you've got a couple you've talked about that you're going to be using. But you don't realize how much of a difference these make until you take them off. Uh, I think something with chocolate should be your first. I don't know what you have that would be would fit that bill, but are you gonna stick with like geeky themed recipes? Birdie bought lava cakes. You know, you were telling me about that earlier, and you know what? I won't eat it because I know what goes into it. You remember you telling me what goes into it? However, I think you should because I want to see you eat it on stream. Never trust a chef who doesn't taste their own food. Never trust a skinny chef. Never trust a chef that doesn't eat their own food. If you don't taste it before it goes out, Pangalactic Gargle Blaster. You are absolutely sadistic. Stay out of my kitchen. Next time you visit, you are not allowed to cook in my kitchen. I do not trust you. The Pangalactic Gargle Blaster. Yes. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What was it? It tastes like being hit in the head with a lemon wrapped in a gold brick. I believe is the description. I know the taco skillet you made was good, and our friends Cam and Sarah agreed. It was very, very yummy. But yeah, you're not... I also remember previewing the ingredients list before you began doing, you know, making anything. It's the alcohol equivalent of getting mugged. Yes, the Pangalactic Gargle Blaster is the alcohol equivalent of getting mugged. But yes, I will always and forever love the description in the book itself, which is, it feels like getting hit in the head with a lemon wrapped in a gold brick. I think that's just a magnificent, magnificent description. I also rather enjoy the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's explanation on how to fly. If you aren't familiar with this, I believe it comes out of... I don't think it's out of Restaurant at the End of the Universe. I think it's... It might be. I don't know. It's one of it's either the second or the third book. I don't remember which. But the theory is that you throw yourself at the ground and miss. That's how you fly. That's the Hitchhiker's Guides. That's what when Arthur Dent asks the Hitchhiker's Guide how to fly, it responds, throw yourself at the ground and miss. And so there's this whole segment of him basically jumping off a rock, attempting to throw himself at the ground and miss. Wow, HMO 6 already. Well, it is Rock Smash, I guess. Zubat! You can never escape Zubats in the Pokemon universe. It just doesn't happen. I'm kind of surprised that my 3D printer hasn't started just randomly printing Zubats all on its own. That would get expensive if, I mean, alcohol isn't cheap. Let's call it what it is. You know? I would say yes. I agree with G-Beast. Make what you love, because your passion translates. Case in point, how I spoke about the Magic tonight. I don't think there's anybody that heard that rant that wouldn't believe I'm not passionate about it, but that's because my passion came through. I think if you're going to do this, and I agree with G-Beast, I think let your passion for what you like, what you love, come through. Don't base it on what other people want. Make what you want to make. If there's anything to learn from Gordon Ramsay on all of his TV shows, is that when he makes food, it's because A, he believes in what he's making. He trusts what he's making, but he likes what he's making. He doesn't serve people food that he himself wouldn't eat or enjoy. So yeah, make what you love. It's your show. Make it for you first, and other people will respond. You do make a mean chocolate truffle. I do rather miss your chocolate. The chocolates you used to make. A little hard to get them now that I'm 1,100 miles away. Next time you come down to visit, I may have to have you make some while you're here. Oh, man. I'm trying to get to where I can get to the first gym badge. It's been a long day. I'm probably going to try to get to the first gym badge, and then, which I think is the next town. I don't know. I'm guessing. It would make sense. And then after the first gym badge, I'll probably end my stream. So just a reminder, in case anybody missed it. Ooh, Hershey's Dessert Recipe 10. Nice. In case anybody missed it, my new stream on Tuesdays. And every night. It's going to be the same time. 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And on Tuesday, we are, just like I started this tonight. Last Tuesday, we started the Fellowship of the Ring. And we got about a third of the way through the game, believe it or not. We actually got we got further into Fellowship of the Ring than I thought we would. It's not as long of a game as The Hobbit was. And then tomorrow night, 7 to 10, we're still doing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. And we still got a ways to go for that, too. But yes, I agree with GB. Show your passion. Yes, so that covers my streams. Now, Wolf Angel, Sunday night, Sea of Thieves. Actually, what are you streaming next week, Wolf Angel? Because I know you are making some adjustments for yours as well. Go ahead and throw yours up in the chat, and then I'll call it out. So Sunday night is going to be Sea of Thieves. And I know she's typing it right now. So the thing is that GNN Gaming has reached affiliate status with Twitch, and in order for us to maintain affiliate status, there's a minimum stream time that we need to maintain. And so that's one of the reasons why I stream so many days, and why Wolf... I mean, aside from the fact that we both love streaming this much. But yeah, there's just me and Wolf Angel on the channel right now, so we are looking for more people to join the gaming team. I will throw that out there. We're actually looking for people in all of our departments, whether it's the writing or AV or social media. We're looking for people. So Sunday is Sea of Thieves. Monday, Black Desert, which is a newer MMO, but also offers drops. So if you play Black Desert, come watch our channel and get access to the drops channel of what's going on. Wednesday is Fable 2, because she finished Fable 1, and then Thursday is Dead by Daylight, which if you play Dead by Daylight and want to play Dead by Daylight with her, all you have to do is send us a message on the GNN Gaming channel, and we with your gamertag, your Xbox gamertag, and we'll get you set up. Yes, drops are subject to change. Twitch changes what drops come out weekly, but right now Black Desert does have drops going. Sea of Thieves has drops as well. Our channel doesn't qualify yet for drops on Sea of Thieves, but we are rapidly getting there. But still, come out and play. Wolf Angel's always looking for people to join her pirate crew. And both of those games, Sea of Thieves and Black Desert, if you have the Xbox Game Pass, are free to download. And all you have to do is just send us your Xbox username, and we'll get you the invite to the game, and yeah, we'll get you on board. It'll be a good time. You can just message us right here on the GNN Gaming Twitch. This is a monitored Twitch channel. Or you can go to Facebook, Geek News Now, and you can send us a message there if you want to be on any of our MMO streams that we do. Yes. That's right, Fable 2 is multiplayer, isn't it? So yeah, everything she's doing is multiplayer, and they are all available. If you have the Xbox Game Pass, they are all available for free to download. I forgot Fable 2 was multiplayer. I knew Dead by Daylight, Sea of Thieves, and Black Desert were. It's been a long time since I've played Fable 2. I was hesitant for a long time to get the Game Pass. I'm so glad I did. Because there's a lot of games that come out. Honestly, there are very few games I will buy brand new. I've been on this rant before, so I won't go through it again. But there's just not a lot of developers that I trust to put out quality AAA games. I almost always expect bugs or patches or something else. PokeMon is one of the few that the Pokemon Company and Game Freak are one of the few that I trust to put out quality games. So with the Game Pass, I can try games, I can download them, I can play them, I can beat them, and I just pay one monthly fee. And I was paying a monthly fee to have Xbox Gold anyway, so this just replaces that, and it's no big deal. You just want to complete the Fable series? Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, that's like with Pokemon. You know, I could have stopped at Pokemon Blue a long time ago and then just played Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl when it came out, but I think this is more fun to, you know, we've seen the evolution of the Pokemon games across. Now this is the third console, fourth console release for Pokemon, because Blue was on the original Game Boy, Gold, Silver, and Crystal were Game Boy Color, and then you had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which were Game Boy Advance. Now we're on the Nintendo DS. So we're now on our fourth console for Pokemon games. I did Pokemon Snap, which was on the 64. I did do a day one release of the new Pokemon Snap that day. And, you know, that's on the Switch. So we've got... It's really cool to see, like, the progression of games as they changed. And Fable is a game that did change a lot. There were different teams that came in to do it. But the core of the series and the heart of the series, I think, stayed the same. But there were definitely a lot of improvements from Fable 1 to 2. Hey, Wolf Angel, I know you're also a big Halo fan. What is your thoughts on the differences between Halo 3 and Halo 4? Because it's different companies. Bungie went out of business, and 343 Industries picked up, and they did Halo 4. What were your thoughts? And anyone else in the chat who may have played Halo? Halo Reach, Halo Reach was good. Yeah, my biggest, and it's a small gripe, it really is. Halo 3 ends with Master Chief going into cryo. Halo 4 starts with him coming out of the same cryo tank, but somehow he's got newer, better armor. And that was just a change the artist made because it was a different company that made the game. GV's gets motion sick with the game. I could see that. It is pretty intense on the way the first person movement is, because it bounces when you walk. It gets better in the later games where you don't have the step motion with the camera as much. It's dialed down. Halo Reach was a great game. The novelization was excellent, if you've ever read the novels. The movie Halo Forward Unto Dawn was actually an independent passion project, and honestly, absolutely amazing. I loved the movie. I've watched it many, many, many times. Yeah, big fan of that. And that is basically if you ever see Halo Forward Unto Dawn, that's the precursor to Halo 4. It's a independent movie film that fills in a timeline gap to Halo 4. And from Reach to 4, the controls weren't too different. Yes. Yeah, there were some differences in the controls. But you had, again, you got a different company that did everything. So I don't know what they were restricted, like, I don't know if they were restricted, like if they had to change certain things, or if I don't know if they changed like control settings because they're a different company and they legally had to. They weren't allowed to keep Bungie's control settings the same way, all of them, if they had to make certain changes, or if they did that just because they wanted to and they felt like it was more optimized. I don't know the reasoning, but there were some changes for like reloading, changing. Oh, hey, Dark Angel, name that Pokemon. Batty. All right, then. Good timing. All right. I know you can't see this part because this is on the lower screen for naming them. Batty. Batty. There's Batty. I think that's the gym leader there. We'll know here in a moment because I'm going to go talk to him. Gotta get to bed though. Super early morning for us. Is Jay already in bed, or is it time for a goodnight song for her? Would like her song. Does she have a request? Because it's been a little while. Disney. Okay. I'm trying to give me 1 second here. One. Oh, haha, funny. Hush. Trying to find a good one. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. There's so many to choose from. I have no idea what I could actually do. Somebody, give me something. Anybody. Mulan, Little Mermaid, or Moana? Okay, hang on. Alright. Well, since I know I can do this one... I'll do this one. Alright, here you go. Here you go, Jay. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mister, I'll make a man out of you. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Boy, was I... Let's see. Oh, sorry. Somehow I'll make a man out of you. Let's see. I gotta... Hang on. Let's see. Time is racing toward us till the Huns arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're unsuited for the rage of war. Pack up, go home, you're through. How could I make a man out of you? You must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Sorry, I had to drop it down. I can feel my voice going. There you go, Jay. Good night. Kiss your brothers good night. Be a good big sister. All that jazz. Good night. Oh gosh. Gee, Mickey. Oh boy. Good night. I'm going to finish. I'm going to do... I think this is a rock-type gym leader. So I'm in luck because I got a water-type Pokemon. But I think after this, I'm probably going to end my stream. Because I'm losing my voice. But I want to thank everybody who's been on my stream. Appreciate all the great conversation tonight. Listen to me rant on about magic and mentalism and psychics and all that historical jazzy goodness. I have no idea what's happening in the game right now because, like, I haven't really even paid attention to it. Yeah, I lucked out with this being rock type. But I think I can, whereas with the other games so far, it hasn't been much of an issue. I think I'm definitely gonna have to make sure I stock up on potions in this one, because everything seems to be, I feel like the battle's a little more, the combat's a little more leveled out in this than it was in some of the others, where in the others it was like by now I would be like super overpowered by comparison to the rest of the game. Here it seems like it's fairly equal, so we'll see. Alright. Cool. What's the question, Wolf Angel? What you got? I suppose, when were you thinking of doing it? I'm gonna go rest up and buy some potions. You don't have to give me a response right now. We can talk about it in the group chat. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish my stream here. I want to thank everybody who's been on. Be sure to head over to geeknewsnow.net and check out all the amazing content happening over there. I'm not opposed to it, Wolf Angel. And also going over to our Geek News Now YouTube. Plus, if you miss our streams, be sure to head on over to our YouTube page, because we download all of our streams and we upload them there, because our streams only stay live on Twitch for 2 weeks after they go up. So if you want to catch any of our past streams, you want to see any of the stuff that we've done before, want to see how we got to where we are, you can go over to our YouTube page and check out the content that we have on there. I'm Retro, this is GNN Gaming. I want to thank everybody for being a part. Be sure to follow and hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot and helps us keep us going. We'll see you all later. Good night, GVs, Wolf Angel, everybody who's in my chat now and in the future. Have a good evening. I will see you all tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords. restored content mod. All right, good night, everybody.